Alright, so how much does that suck? Right where I think our leak is, there is a ton of bird poop. Awesome. Thanks a lot, birds. You know right where to Fixing a leak can be one of the most frustrating repairs, but I'm pretty sure that this rusty hole is the culprit. And before I get started, I'll head over to Home Depot, pick up some materials, and then get it all patched up. Pretty sick. The place where dreams are made of. Alright, so we're in the belly of the beast now and looking for fiberglass. Wow, look at this place. Home Depot is an experience. Wall-to-wall construction stuff. We don't need to go crazy with a fancy brush. Just this junky kind of throwaway one will be perfect. We'll get a smaller one and a bigger one. Oh, here we go. This will do the trick. 120 fine little block. And now I just need to find the fiberglass. And we are out of here. Sweet. All right. Brush. Perfect. Almost forgot gloves. 34.59. That 415 is nasty, so you definitely want to have these. We are back with all our materials. Took me a sec to find everything. Let's get up on the roof and see what's happening. Here is our hole. It's rusty, that's for sure. Got to AutoZone, got this Port 15. First we're gonna have to sand all this junk off, clean it, prep it, fiberglass it, and we should be good to go, no more leaks. It's been raining in California and cold for the past month that I've been away from the van. So plenty of water's been getting in this little leak down here, which is a bummer. As soon as I got back to the van, it smelled kind of musty and wet, and I knew that this leak had gotten worse. So the trick here is to just sand. I won't bore you guys with all these details, so maybe I'll do a little time lapse up here. So you just want to sand this stuff best you can. And by no means am I an expert, so if you're here to learn, this isn't going to be perfection. It's going to stop the leak. It's going to prevent further rust. Pull out any chips that we can. So that hole right there definitely is just leaking water. I mean, water gets into anywhere it really wants to. So look at that. Water just leaking right down into this back corner of my van here. You clean it with the detergent they give you, then there's like a primer, you prep it, it's like a metal prep, and then you use the Port 15 itself in conjunction with the fiberglass. All right, so I moved into the sun because we need this to be bone dry, is what it says basically. One sheet, just a little windy here. I can't set any of my materials down without it flying away, so. And I live in a van, so I don't have a garage or anywhere to really work on this. So I had to come to a park. This Port 15 stuff's pretty nasty. You get it on your hands and you can't get it off. This little sponge thing they give you is perfect. We just want to apply a liberal amount, make sure it dries well too. And then we'll do our second coat and we'll start fiberglassing after. Man, I hadn't built so much of the van out, I mean I had to, it was essential, but had I not worked on so much of that, I probably would have saw this as a really intimidating job, this repair, but it's gonna be pretty easy. And I think, normally I wouldn't know what to do. I'm not a builder. I don't know how to build things or construct them, but the van, I had to learn. I had to be taught. My buddy Dan helped me a lot. Two friends of mine named Dan actually helped me quite a bit. YouTube gave me a sort of idea, but I feel like some stuff with the Vanlife shit on YouTube, you gotta be really careful because some of it's real janky, some of it's really weird and is not right. Like I saw some people on YouTube gluing their solar panels to the roof. I through bolted mine. Like you're gonna glue your solar panels to the roof? That's really sketchy. I don't ever drive behind anybody who looks like they built out a van because if anybody listened to that, I would bet that those solar panels will one day come loose and fly off of that van. Scary, scary stuff. But anyways, I feel like I have a good understanding of small minor repairs, and it's fun. I mean, it feels good to be able to fix your own van, to be able to fix your own things, you know. Being self-sufficient in a way is quite rewarding. Cool, so we'll just paint that on there, we'll let it dry, and we're gonna come back to this. Wow, it is cold out there. It looks warm from inside here, but it is cold and windy. It's such a shock coming from Mexico where it's hot and humid and it feels good, and you just jump in the ocean. And man, I'm definitely a warm climate kind of person. I had so much fun down in Mexico. I don't want to leave, but next up is Hawaii, so no complaints. And I know it'll be warm again soon, but yeah, this is like unseasonably cold for California and much of the West. I saw a lot of snow. I'm glad I missed so much of that weather because the cold is really starting to get me down. The good thing about the van is you can drive away from cold weather, but I couldn't really do it this year. I tried and I tried and I tried, and man, it was difficult. I had to fly down to Mex to get away from it all. So then we're just gonna do this little trick that my buddy Dan taught me. If you just cut up pieces of this, you've got a really nice bunch of material to then add to your resin. In this case, we're using the Pour 15, but I'm gonna use this to fill that hole in the bottom. Oh, good, as long as it doesn't get on my pants. I like these pants, I don't want to ruin them. This sweatshirt already has a giant hole in the back, doesn't matter. But these pants, I should have probably changed my pants. Oh well. All right, so then we'll just start grabbing some of this sludge, putting it down in here. This wind is so frustrating. It's making this easy job a lot harder. I'm just gonna jam this right down in there. So we packed it with a bunch of fiberglass, and then maybe when it's like halfway dry, I will throw that next sheet of fiberglass on, and maybe we do the sanding tomorrow. We'll just wait it out in here. I got a timer set for about 20 minutes. Oh, the joys of living in a van. But I mean, I guess a home could leak too and you'd have to fix it. So, comes with the territory, and it's cool. I'm looking forward to it. It feels good to accomplish something like with your own two hands, you know. It feels good to be able to build something or to fix something. I definitely learned that lesson many times building the van out, and it's so rewarding. My only complaint would be that I wish it was a little warmer outside, less windy, but you know, this kind of weather sort of feels like when I was building my van out. I started in May, or I bought the van the end of April, I think, 2020 in New Jersey, and that's like springtime, and spring's like still pretty cold. So sort of feels like similar weather. So maybe I'm getting a dose of familiarity here. All right, so the good news is that this stuff is starting to get tacky. We're gonna take this piece and we're just gonna fold it over. So it's tacky enough where I can shape it as I push it down. This is gonna be a beautiful repair. I'm so stoked. I'm gonna sand that patch and finally be done with this thing. No leaks getting in there, that's for sure. Pretty excited. I wanna make this as flush as possible because does the job better. It looks nicer. You also want to sand because then when you paint, the paint's got something to stick to. I'm pretty sure with 415, you can't expose it to UV or it breaks down, so you have to paint over it, which is minor. I got spray paint in the van and I'll be good to go. I'm just happy that a repair like this didn't intimidate me. That I could actually do it. I could do it on the road. I don't have to rely on anybody else. The feeling of self-sufficiency is cool, or feeling of building something is great. All right, now the fun part. Where's the wind blowing? Ooh, spray might come that way. I'm so excited to have this done. Feels good to fix something yourself. There we go. Easy. Glad I got that fixed. So what exactly did I learn? I learned that filming a repair on a van is a lot harder than it looks on YouTube, because you kind of have to be doing what you're doing and you're under a time crunch sometimes, especially when epoxy's setting in. But I'm also reminded about how much I love to be able to do things for myself. The fact that you can take pride in making your home better or take pride in fixing something is, I don't know, it's second to none. So I had a great time. Thanks for following along, and don't hesitate to ask any questions you may have. Remember, that Pour 15 stuff is for rust. It's a lot easier and more affordable to just use fiberglass and resin for like any repairs, body repair. It's simple and easy. Plenty of stuff on YouTube that you can find helping you out. But that's it for today, and thanks for following along.